two forms get primary importance, and on the basis of such similarities, the degree of relationship between different forms may be established. So, all the animal forms exhibit some features in common, and that is the reason they belong to a common group, that is the animal kingdom. Like I stated before, they are multicellular, they are heterotrophic, they have eukaryotic nucleus. Now, the members of the vast animal kingdom differ by many ways, and on the basis of such difference, they may be divided into groups and subgroups. These groups and subgroups are known as categories. I repeat, the members of our vast animal kingdom differ by many ways, and depending on such difference, they may be divided into groups and subgroups. These groups and subgroups are known as categories. I repeat, these groups and subgroups are known as categories. Linnaeus, who is the father of taxonomy, used 7 categories. What are they? They include kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. I repeat, Linnaeus have used 7 categories. What are these categories? Categories refer to the group and subgroups. Okay, Linnaeus have used 7 categories, which includes kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. They are called the Linnaeus hierarchy. So now we can define taxonomy in a better way. What is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the branch of science that deals with logical ordering, of living forms, following certain rules, and naming of the forms in a scientific way, following some law, and the identification of forms. I repeat, taxonomy is the branch of science that deals with logical ordering of living forms. How? Following certain rules, like naming of the forms in a scientific way, following some law, and identification of the forms. Now, each of the categories in classification is known as unit. Like I told you, kingdom, phylum, class, order, they are all units. Okay, and in the Linnaean hierarchy, the lowest unit is called the species. See, it is placed in the last, species. Its higher unit is genus, followed by higher order of units, which includes family, order, class, phylum, and kingdom. Now we shall learn more about these units. We will start with the lowest unit, that is species. See, I'll give you some examples. Listen to it carefully. You yourself will draw the definition of species. See, you have all observed house cats. Okay, you have all seen street dogs. Now, these all house cats belong to one species. They may have some differences among themselves, such as their color, height, length of the tail. Yet, they can all interbreed. What does that mean? They can produce their young ones. Similar thing is observed in street dogs as well. They may have some difference among themselves, such as in their color, in their height, in the length of the tail, or in the shape of the tail. Yet they can all interbreed. Okay. So the scientific name of cat is Felis domesticus. I repeat, Felis domesticus. And the scientific name of dog is Canis familiaris. Canis familiaris. See, in case of cat, I said Felis domesticus. Domesticus, the last word is the species name. In case of dogs, I said Canis familiaris. Familiaris is the species name. Now, Canis familiaris is the scientific name of all street dogs. In the same way, there may be quite a few difference in the body features of people of different countries. Like Indian people looks different from a Russian people. A Russian people looks different from Americans. Americans again look different from Indians. Yet there can be a marriage between these different races and they may have a normal child. So that means they are capable of interbreeding. Why so? Because all mankind belongs to a single species, that is Homo sapiens. So what do you understand from the examples? How can you define species now? Species means an animal or a plant of a particular kind whose members can successfully interbreed among themselves. I repeat, species means an animal or a plant of a particular kind whose members can successfully interbreed among themselves. For example, a shark and a starfish cannot interbreed. Why? Because they belong to different species. Similarly, a mango plant is different and a people plant is different. Why? Because their species do not match. Now we'll come to the next unit, the unit that is placed just above the species, that is genus. What is genus? The group of organisms taking several species together is known as genus. Like what did I say? The scientific name of cat is Felis domesticus. Domesticus was the species name. Felis is the genus. Now I'll make it more simple. See, we have crows around our homes. Crow is one of the most common bird that you see every day. Now, some crows are found on plains who are commonly called the house crow. Some crows are found on the hills who are commonly called the jungle crow. Now, these two crows differ from one another in their physical appearance, like they differ from one another. Why? Because these two crows are of two different species. That means they cannot interbreed. Why? Because they are two different species.